Hey guys, Lost Soul here, and I know this is strange for me, but this is my first. It's a speculation video in a sense, because you all probably know, some of you probably don't know, but if you don't, it's fine, I'll explain everything right now. So, if you recall, there's been a new BlazBlue game that has been announced. Well, technically, it's not a BlazBlue game, it's more of a crossover, technically, since crossover's in the title. The game is called BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and it's pretty relatively interesting, but before I get into that game, I have to quickly talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because I feel like I should talk about that game, because that is something else I'm excited for, and if you're not, well, then just skip to a certain part of the video, skip to this point in the video where I'm done talking about Marvel vs. Capcom. Alright, with that, I continue on with my lecture. So, if you recall, Marvel vs. Capcom was pretty I was pretty heavily excited about that. I played the demo. The demo was pretty fun. In fact, I did record the demo. I will put that up eventually, but I do want to edit it, so I will give Hayden some time to adjust on that. Also, thanks a lot for Hayden for editing this video. He's the one doing all this. He's the mastermind. Without him, I'm basically garbage, so subscribe to his channel. It's Bink. There will be a link in the description below for that. Also, just real quick thanks to my art director, or, well, artiste, to be more precise, the Foxy Wolf, aka Emily, who also has her own channel, which the link will be in the description below for that as well. And now I continue on with my rant. So basically, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a pretty pretty badass game. I played it myself. It's really interesting, and honestly, it's like a little fun game. And don't worry, I'm not just saying that because Dante's in it. I would be saying it anyway with it. No, that's a lie. I'm saying it because Dante's in it. But there are a lot of other good characters, like Strider, Mega Man X, Zero's back this time. But apart from that, there's also the villains and shit, with Ultron Sigma, the dumbest and least creative name I've ever heard of. Fucking Ultron Sigma. They didn't even try. They just put two names together. That's not what we're here to talk about. What ended up happening was this game was really heavily excited for, and then Dragon Ball FighterZ came out of fucking nowhere and basically blew it out of the water. Most people ignored Dragon Ball FighterZ, like me, myself, but a lot of other people didn't. Now on to the real meat of the video. That's all I really have to talk about. I mean, I do a character speculation video about the characters and being in the game, but we practically already know who's going to be in the game and who's not. We've seen a lot of the characters already, so there really isn't a point to do that. However, with BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, it's interesting, because that game, well, it's very interesting. The trailer starts off when we first see Ragna and Jin, you know, fighting as usual with their usual rivalry, and then all of a sudden, fucking, these other two characters come out of nowhere. One from being from Persona 4 Arena, and the other being from a game I have never heard of before in my life, Under Night and Birth. Oh, it was PS4 exclusive. Okay, that explains a lot. Explains why I don't know about it anyway. Anyway, the game looks really cool. These characters look badass, and then all of a sudden, she shows up. And immediately, I raise questions, but at the same time, I'm pretty happy because I am a pretty casual fan of Ruby. And since I know some of you probably am a little upset about this, but I'm just gonna get into this. In case you guys have been living under a rock for like the last couple years, Ruby is a CG animated series done by Rooster Teeth. And it's a pretty successful series. I think it's pretty good itself, especially season 3 and 4, because that's where the real shit goes down and shit hits the fan. People start fucking dying and with there's blood everywhere. Anyway, if you guys want to watch that series, I'm not going to spoil it. I will do a little bit of a review of that series in my own spare time in the future, but until now, I'm just going to leave it at that. So a lot of people are really excited for the game and her being in the game, and others are not so happy about it, especially this guy. But I think the game's going to be pretty good. But before I go into any other details, I'm going to talk about the characters being in the game. Let's get into it. Now, since I'm a fucking pleb and only know BlazBlue characters and Ruby characters, we're just gonna be doing that one today. Although I feel like Ruby's gonna be the only Ruby character in the game, but I digress. I'm not gonna start doing that or speculating that until it's been proven otherwise. So, first off, we have, since Jin and Ragna are confirmed to be in the game, I'm not going to ask if they could be put in the game, because we already know that Jin and Ragna are going to be in the game. I'm especially happy about it, because those two are my mains. But, other than that, for BlazBlue, the BlazBlue side of things, I feel like they need to put Noelle in it, because Noelle's just that easy character that the newcomers to the game will need to use easy combos. It's just a fair thing to do for them. I just hope they don't spam the fucking guns. Next up on my list is Taokaka, and Tao's a pretty fun character, to be perfectly honest. I enjoy using her. On Unlimited especially, but I digress. I think she's a pretty fun addition. Next up we have Tager, and we gotta have Tager in the game. He's been in the game since the very beginning. And he's also a really fun addition, and also he's pretty fucking tough. Despite his size and despite his weight, he's actually pretty fucking strong, and that's why a lot of people, myself included, love to use him. Another character we have to have is, well, Yuki Terumi / Habazuma. Now, why these two characters? Because they're the villains, and we need a villain in the game, and that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna go that far in depth, especially since I actually like how Terumi plays, and how I kind of dislike how difficult Hazuma is, although I did manage to accidentally pull off an astral finish with Hazuma somehow, and it landed successfully. Still don't know how I did that to this day, by the way, but I digress again. Next up, we have to have Hakumen in the game. Hakumen's just that badass character that we all need. He's just that one guy. Next up, Tsubaki and Makoto. I like those two to be in the game, especially, well, they're pretty fun characters, while Tsubaki being a little bit more difficult and strategic, while Makoto is just that type of character who is basically Knuckles the fucking Echidna. But, yeah, I think those two would be pretty fun. Who's next? I think that's it. Oh, it's you. Yeah, I guess we can have Cancer in the game. Now on to Ruby characters. I'm just gonna, I don't know. Oh wait, fuck, I forgot a couple of BlazBlue characters. Let me just go through them real quick. Bullet, because she's fine. Fucking... We could have Landa in the game. Landa's pretty fun to use. And... oh, I didn't say Lychee, did I? Well, Lychee also should be in the game. Now we go on to the Ruby characters. I almost forgot. How silly of me. Now, the Ruby characters, I'm not going to speculate or focus on Team Juniper or Team Ruby all that much, since we had them already in that really bad RPG kind of game, hack and slash brawler that was just never really fully planned or recognized. But I'll do a game review on that in the future, don't worry. Anyways, personally, since Ruby's gonna be in the game, and since so many people want it, I guess Yang could be in the game, because she could be that alternate version of Bullet. Even though if Bullet's in the game, we really won't need Yang in the game. I think they could be very fun to use. Next up is Blake. Blake, because, well, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Team Ruby itself should just be in the fucking game. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it or anything. I'm just gonna flat out say it. Now then, on to other important matters. Next up is Crow. Put him in the fucking game, otherwise. There's nothing else for me to say there. I like Crow, and that's it. Next up is Adam. Asshole. Anyway, Adam is pretty interesting. He's basically Virgil, only his sword's red, and yeah, and he's not a demon. Well, at least we just don't know he is. He could be hiding anything under that mask. But yeah, I think Adam would be pretty fun to use. Especially if he's related to how Virgil handles in Devil May Cry, because then afterwards I'll just love the fucking hell out of him. Get it, hell? Because Virgil's a demon? Anyway, On to further things. I would personally, I personally think they should put Neo in Neo, because Neo's just that mute character who could just be there as a joke, because she doesn't talk and she can mock the character. I feel like that would be pretty fun. Next up, who is next through my card list? Winter, right? Even though I think she's a Weiss clone, I think she'd be pretty interesting. Probably not that much to offer, but she could be pretty interesting. Oh, Velvet and Coco. Put them in the fucking game. Give them some love. One, because Coco has a Gatling gun in her purse, and fucking Velvet because, well, she's the copycat character. Basically meaning she can copycat any weapon, and honestly, I think a fucking camera who can do that is pretty fucking amazing. But I digress otherwise. Just put them in the fucking game. Anyway, who else? I'm trying to look, and honestly, I can't really think. I'm not really that excited for the Ruby characters. I'm just excited that there's another BlazBlue game. So I guess I'm just gonna end it off there. Another thing that I would love in this game is kind of like how Injustice 2 handles their intros and outros. I would absolutely love it if this game had fucking the characters mocking each other with specific voice lines and shit. That would be amazing. Oh my god, I could just picture it right now. It'd just be that funny. Also, the astrals. Hopefully there are astral finishers in this game. I hope that there's one for every character. I would die right now if that was the case. I mean, every fighting game has an ultimate finisher move. Kind of like how Street Fighter does it, Mortal Kombat does it at the very end of the fight, and BlazBlue does it with its astral finishes. I would just love it though if if other characters like Ruby and such had that, because I don't know, it'd probably be pretty interesting. And, what else? Also, character skins. Not, like, certain color swaps are okay, but give us some skins. I would love some skins, even though I know that they're not gonna do this. So they've been doing palette swaps for, like, years now for BlazBlue games. I would personally love it, though, if they give me a fucking alternate skin of, like, with Ragna or Ruby or fucking any other character. It would just be really fun. I can't explain it. I just find that amusing. Because kind of like how fucking Injustice 2 does it. Except that's NetherRealm and this is a completely different company, so never mind. My dream of having custom character skins are just never gonna happen. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, that's the end of the video. And if you guys like this series, or this mini-series where I just do a little bit of a rant or speculation, or even reviews in the future, I'm planning on doing reviews. If you like this, show some love, and that's it. Just show some love to this little mini-series I do. If you don't like it, then just tell me to go back to just doing games, and I will do that. So anyways, thank you all for watching this. Have yourselves a very lovely day. Special thanks to Foxy, and of course, it's Bink, for editing this video. Foxy because, well, she drew the characters. So, there's that too. But anyways, their channel links are in the description below, so go ahead and enjoy. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you could like it if you want. I mean, but I guess if you really, really wanted to. Or even subscribe if you're that daring. But I'm not gonna ask you to do that. Wait, did I just did. Fuck. Oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. No one's gonna do it anyway.